Welcome back to season 3 of Driving Performance. I'm your host, Tom Shea, the co-founder and CEO of Agile Media Group. I'm excited to introduce our guest, Josh Suggs. By way of introduction, Josh Suggs is a 22-year-old founder and the CEO of 203Media, a New York City-based media agency that pioneered the art of viral street interviews for brands. A self-taught content creator since his early teens, Josh cut his teeth making Vine videos and YouTube vlogs before managing social content for breakout e-commerce brand Tab's Chocolate at just 19 years old. In 2022, he dropped out of college to launch 203Media, and in just over a year has grown it to over a 7-figure business with a 17-person team, crafting street interview campaigns for hundreds of D2C brands. Josh, welcome to Driving Performance.
Great intro. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, stoked to have you on. So I'm going to give a quick overview of the structure of the show. As we are in a truck, the theme is we're going to be having a few different stops on this route. So stop 1, we're going to talk about your personal story. Stop 2, we're going to talk about your professional story. Stop 3 is a game we like to call the hot box. And then stop 4 is an outro. But before we dive in, Josh, for our audio-only listeners, how would you describe what is happening right now?
We're in a truck that is glass, so you can see New York City, you can see all the people walking around, but it looks like the interior is a professional podcast studio.
We appreciate that. All right, Josh, well, I'm excited to dive in. Stop 1, personal story. I would love to just learn a little bit more about who is Josh Suggs. What are all the more personal anecdotes before we get too deep into the professional and how you founded 203Media that kind of brought you to where you are today?
Totally. So yeah, I'm Josh. Thank you so much for the great intro. Appreciate it. Just go back in my upbringing, childhood, and kind of what kind of brought me to running around New York every day for about a year now. I was, super ADD in school, really bad learning disabilities. Freshman year of high school was the lowest math class in my high school. And really just I was in special ed and really always wanted to make content, always wanted to make videos. I've been making YouTube videos and content since I was 14 years old and just could not engage in class. I was the kid that would, find other kids in the class before me that had answers to the test and find them their test in another class and broker it. And I did that all through college, honestly. And I really just wasn't stimulated in the classroom. And I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to make content, and I just really didn't know what that was going to be. Sure. I didn't really think it was going to be, YouTube vlogs or like a Logan Paul style daily vlogging. But I was always obsessed with the camera and just creating. I was always obsessed with creating. And I was on the tennis team in high school. That was my first business, was a tennis business. Okay. And it was pretty much the same marketing strategy as how I grew my 203Media. Was people had, we'd go to public tennis courts and there was mom and pop Facebook groups in Connecticut. Sure. Front porch Facebook groups. Yeah, got my first couple clients, my neighbors, teach their kids tennis. And then they would post in Facebook groups, hey, Josh is teaching tennis lessons. Yeah. Before I knew it, I was booked 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Those Facebook groups, man, the mom Facebook groups those circles are deep.
Deep circle. It's almost as good as the D2C founders group.
That's true.
So before I knew it, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, I was coaching tennis and I was making, over $1,000 cash a week. Nice. 16 years old. Yeah. And that was my first real hustle. I love to do this. I love to use tennis. And it was just people. I was hang out with dads, with moms, with kids all day long. And then when I went to start 203Media, I did the exact same marketing strategy.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So let's back up even to before 203Media. Tell us about your upbringing, family life. Where are you from? What is the family like? Were there obvious entrepreneurial influences early in life? Tell me about that.
Yeah. So I'm a twin. My twin sister actually went to Chicago.
Hey, shout out.
So she was pretty much the polar opposite of me. Okay. She had, a 4.6 GPA, perfect score on the SAT.
4.6 out of 4.0, of course.
Yeah. She finished all the AP classes by her junior year. Triple major at U Chicago, graduated with a 4.0 at U Chicago. Damn. And, I went to Syracuse, dropped out to do street interviews. So we were pretty much polar opposites growing up, but, super great family. I wasn't really that, close with my parents necessarily growing up. My mom worked really, really hard. She was a psychologist. Okay. And my dad really wasn't present at all growing up. So I was really close to my friends' parents. My friends' dads really had a big impact on me. How to shake a man's hand, how to be a guy because my dad really wasn't around or present like whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it really drove me to be really social, be really outgoing, so that, you know, I always was out of the house. Like over the summers, I don't think I'd ever come home.
Yeah.
Like I would just at friends' house.
It's an important muscle. I mean, extroversion is kind of hard to teach. And so it's nice that you got those experiences early on.
Yeah.
Question for you. You said you were creating content as early as like 14.
Yeah.
And so was there like something or someone even that you look back and reflect on that experience as like, oh, this person in particular is like why I picked up the camera and why I started getting into this stuff?
I mean, I have to say Logan Paul.
Logan Paul? All
I
right.
have to say Logan Paul there. David Dobrik for sure, Mr. Beast. But really, like, I remember just going on Vine and seeing like these kids
the
in high
Vine era.
school
Oh, man.
just making like funny content. And then pretty quickly I realized that they were like making money.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have a phone. And I was like, I like to make videos.
True. Yeah.
I was like,
the barrier to entry has come down.
zero. Yeah. Like before you just had to like just play and like be funny and like, you would get views on Vine.
Totally.
And I would just watch them do it. And I, you know, within a few months, I started JJC vlogs with my friends.
What was it?
Called JJC vlogs.
Okay.
And so like we had a friend that had a pickup truck. We'd fill it with water in the back of the pickup truck, make like a little hot tub,
Okay.
drive around our town. We'd go to like college campuses and like eat like cabbages next to people. It was kind of like Melt Boys-esque.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that kind of stuff. We did that for like 7 months.
Okay.
Until we got like bullied out of it. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, so that's 14. I mean, I think you started really rocking with this stuff around 19.
Yep.
Tell me about like the education arc. So I know you dropped out of college.
Yep.
Like what was going through your head? Was family or friends supportive? Like how did you arrive at what is ultimately like a pretty scary decision? It's high risk, it's high stakes.
Yep.
And yes, you can always go back, but what led you to having the confidence to make such a bold move like that and trusting that, you know, just trusting the process and that everything would work out?
Totally. So over the summer last year is when I started making my first street reviews. My friend Oliver Picado
Tabs.
Chocolate.
What's he doing now? Bust him?
Bust him.
Bust him. We got to get Oliver on the next season.
Gotta get Oliver on. He's great on podcasts.
Yeah.
So I was abroad, actually in college at the time, and he asked me to start doing street reviews for his SaaS study buddy.
Okay.
And I was
I remember that. That's like not that long ago.
No, not at all. And I was like, hell yeah. Like I was originally like the first employee at Tabs when I was 19. I ended up going back to college. He dropped out. So I went back to college for another year. He dropped. We became best friends. He then like really like hit Tabs, and then I was in college abroad. He was like, "Why don't you start doing stream views for Study Buddy?" Started doing it. I really was not that good at it. Came back from abroad. I was sleeping on his couch in the city.
Is this New York? He moved to Miami. Is it New York?
This is in New York.
Okay.
This is before he moved to Miami. Sleeping on his couch. I was supposed to start a corporate internship.
Okay.
At, I don't know if I can say the name. But it was at a big corporate company here.
Sure.
And then the night before, Sunday night, I was supposed to start on Monday morning. He was really like pushing me like, yo, like you could do streaming music as a service for brands. And I was like, this would be really fun. I think this would be cool. Emailed them like at midnight. Hey, I'm not going to come in. I'm going to try to start this business. This was last May. And then, so quit the internship. They were really pissed off. I got a really nasty email.
They'll be okay.
Yeah. They got a really nasty email from HR. And then just started hitting the streets. Like next day, just like grabbed the camera, grabbed the mic, had my friend's sister like be my videographer, and went over to Union Square right over here. Just asked people about brands you've never heard of.
Sure.
Like, and then had them pay me after the videos were done. I had no idea what I was doing. Had one editor I found because I just went on Twitter, and just hit it. Within the first 2 weeks, I got like 2 more referrals. They were like, "Hey, can you use my friend's brand? Can you use my?" I was charging. Like,
that's the best marketing.
I was charging like $50 a video.
Yeah.
For like a full stream review, fully edited, and it just kind of spread like wildfire. And then very quickly, agencies started trying to whitelist me.
Okay.
And they're like, "Hey, we'll give you like $7,000 a month to do this exclusively for us." And I was like, "Wait a second, if you're giving me $7,000 a month and I haven't even started yet, could I get brands myself?"
Totally.
And then so I said no to that, and then just started tweeting the videos, and then just through referrals, I think month 1, I did like $27,000.
Crazy.
And then
Crazy.
Kind of just kept scaling.
Yeah, that's wild. Tell me more about the Oliver story.
Yeah. So Oliver's been like one of my best friends for almost 10 years now. And he, like before Tabs, he was the CMO of another e-commerce brand in high school. And I was 19, my parents were getting divorced at the time, and he was like, why don't you come move down to Miami and help me, manage content for Tab Chocolate. At the time, I didn't even know what UGC content was. It was 2022 at the time. So we literally shared a mattress on the floor.
Yeah, I've seen, we got a clip to the picture.
Yeah.
I think you posted. It's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
That's some true startup shit right there.
There was nothing. We literally just moved to an empty apartment. There was nothing there. He Amazoned like a mattress, and it came like the next day.
Yeah.
And we were just like, fuck, I was 19, he was 20, I think.
Yeah, he's young too.
And and I really just immersed myself into the world. And that's really where like my mind was like blown. Well, you can set up like a Shopify store.
Right.
And like you could like just do things.
You can just do things.
You can just do things. Yeah, I was like, you can just
do things.
Set it up. And then, he was really the genius and, brilliant, one of the smartest person I've ever met in my life. And, it scaled with fully organic, right?
Yeah.
Every person had their own Tabs account. There's hundreds of Tabs Chocolate TikToks, and everyone's posting 3 to 5 times a day, and it went mega viral.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think extroversion can get you pretty far in life, but to be able to do what you do, there is some technical components. So how did you find yourself educating, self-teaching, or we're using courses, YouTube videos to actually figure out how to do the editing, figure out how to do all of the sort of like nuts and bolts and picks and shovels of actually creating content?
Yeah, so it did not come, just like anything, I was terrible.
Yeah.
We can clip over some of my early stream reviews. They're really, really, really bad.
We should do that.
I didn't even know to like look at the camera. I was like this, talking. Yeah. I didn't even know to put like B-roll in it. I didn't know, I really didn't know anything at all. And a lot of the brands, I didn't even know they were being used as ads.
Right.
I didn't even know that's why everyone wanted them at first. At first I was like, just thought they posted organically, and very soon they were like throw these ads managers trying to just have try diversity in the ad account.
Right.
And that's really what made us take off. But it was, I would say, I had been making content for a long time. Right. JDC Vlogs. I made like a 40-minute documentary my junior year of high school, and that's where I got a lot of technical skills. Did a lot of editing. Chopped down 8 hours of footage to a 30-minute documentary, edited it all myself.
Yeah.
So that's really how I got, the post-production knowledge. And then the editor I found in Croatia, his name was Kamika. He's still with me to this day, actually.
Shout out to Kamika.
He's a legend. Him and I actually both dropped out of college together.
Wow.
So he was 19 in Croatia. I was in college, and I was like, yo, man, this is going to be a massive media company. What do you say if we both just dropped out of college together?
Wild. And how did you find Kamika?
I just posted on Twitter. And the editor, he was the first person to DM me, and it's been
Twitter, man.
It's been mine to this day.
My Twitter story, you'll appreciate this. When I was starting Agile Media Group, I kept trying to reach out to these founders, to do essentially what you were doing.
Yeah.
Get my name out there, try to get someone to take a bet on us. And what I realized kind of early on is, okay, I'm DMing this guy every single month on LinkedIn. I'm doing the cold email thing, and I'm just not breaking through. And then I get to Twitter, and I'm realizing this guy's shouting into the void 6 times a day.
Yeah.
Each post is getting maybe 3 likes.
Yeah, he's
so if I show up on Twitter, I could be a third of the potential mind share.
Exactly.
In a way that I'm getting lost in the bots and the craziness of email and LinkedIn. And so, Chris Mead from CrossNet?
Yep.
So I reactivated my high school, college Twitter account. I deleted all of my tweets. And then I started doing a campaign where I said, I'm going to tweet at Chris Mead every single day for the rest of my life until he takes a meeting with me. And so I'm trying to do all this funny stuff to get his attention. On day 13, his fiance, now wife, Lindsay, reposts one of them. On day 14, he DMs me and says, hey, Tom, love what you're doing. Don't have the budget for this right now, but keep up the hustle. I love to see it. And then about 6 months later, he was one of our very first clients.
Hell yeah.
And the Twitterverse, I mean, it's...
Wow, 6 months later.
6 months later, yeah.
Wow.
Playing the long game. But I think what's interesting about that is trying to find where people are accessible and trying to arbitrage that stuff.
100%.
So
and trying to get in front of them to a big way I was able to grow on Twitter was I was do work for free for tweets.
Yeah.
And I would just listen, shout at the biggest people.
Totally.
Shout and just keep shouting at them until they send me their product. I would do really good work, edit it 24 hours.
Totally.
Post it, tag me, and it just...
Yeah, I love the hustle. All right, so we are now at stop 2 on our route. It's the professional story. So I want to dive a bit deeper on 203Media. So we talked a little bit about how you found your editor and how you started. But why don't you just tell us first off, what is 203Media? And then we could dive deep into how you got to 203Media.
Totally. So 203Media is a street interview ad agency based here in New York, with the whole premise and thesis that your ads as a brand cannot look like ads anymore. And to get your customers' attention, you need to either be educating or entertaining. That's the only way.
Edutainment.
Exactly. And there's no better form of edutainment than a street interview, because you're educating the stranger about the product. So the person watching is being educated at the same time, and it's naturally engaging and entertaining because it's reaction content.
Totally.
So it blends the two together to make the perfect form of, organic content.
Yeah. And I think it's edutainment. I also think it's authenticity.
Exactly.
Which especially, and actually I'd love your perspective on this. What do you think of the proliferation of AI on our collective category? Because I'm a media guy too. I'm curious if you have any hot takes on what's the bull case, what's the bear case for AI? Do you think it's ever going to be a logical replacement? What's the hot take?
Yeah, I mean, 100% yes. The answer is yes. It depends on what kind of brand you are, the scale of the brand. So I think two things, and I go back and forth this a lot. It's either going to make what I'm doing extremely valuable,
right? Because
people are going to just crave the realness, the authenticity,
totally,
and just like they want real people. The same way, everything is going to be AI. So the not AI content is just gonna be that much more impactful.
Dude, I run an out-of-home company.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, and I gotta be a little careful because there's always a risk of is this just my mental confirmation bias? But I'm sitting here going all right, if AI really kicks off and it becomes a major strategy, the last bastion of authenticity is the physical world.
Yes.
Right? And so I do think there's something, I think a lot about my business as I am a real estate developer and I have this plot of land, and there's only so much land, right?
Digital real estate is what
it's scarcity, right?
Yep.
And so if there's inherent scarcity on physical world's advertising, which there is, right? There's a finite amount. Its value over time, if everything else is kind of getting diluted, theoretically should move upward. And so I've always looked at our business as okay, we're kind of investing in Williamsburg before Williamsburg got hot.
Yeah.
And trying to just buy up the land.
Yes.
Buy it all up.
And just jack up the rents.
Well, hopefully we can find more land. But yeah, I mean, if we might have to, and more, I'm starting to think about this stuff.
Or it's going to do the reverse, and it's going to be so cheap and easy to produce, via AI content.
Totally.
That it's going to make live streaming nothing more authentic than live.
Right. There's no way out of it.
It's the ultimate level of authenticity. So that's why I really do believe live social shopping is where a lot of
style, TikTok shop style.
Exactly. Yeah. I really think live social shopping is going to be the biggest, way consumers are going to buy commerce.
Yeah.
In 2026, especially 2027.
Yeah.
If you just look at China and look at overseas, because everyone's going to be mass producing this content, you're going to be flooded with AI content. Yes, some personal brands will be big enough to have the real stuff, but it's going to be so engaging and entertaining. It's going to be so good at capturing your attention that live streaming is going to be the only way you know if something's real.
Yeah. All right. I have another question for you. Volume versus quality. How do you think about the trade-off of that? And the reason I asked that question is I think you and I, we both kind of specialize in consumer as a category.
Yep.
And a macro trend right now, which I do believe in, is just creative iteration, get as much stuff in the ad account, throw budget at all of them, let them self-optimize and find which ones are the winners. But to be able to lean into quantity, you're probably haircutting a little bit on quality.
Yep.
How do you think of the trade-off between quality and quantity from a content perspective if you're in the position of a brand?
Yeah, so it depends on are you a creator-led brand? Right? I work with companies that have, a chief content officer whose full job, they have, 500,000 followers. They are an influencer themselves, and that is how they do their marketing, through that influencer. And then I work with brands who just run direct response ads, and then I'm their first taste of engaging content.
Right.
So it depends, who you are, what kind of brand, the scale you are, but you need to be testing tons of different content styles.
Yeah.
Right. You need to be doing founder ads, 100%. You need to be if you're the founder of a brand right now, get in front of the camera and tell your story.
Right.
And that's we're going to start doing at 203Media is founder street interviews. What do you do for a living?
Right.
And then tell me your story as the founder of your brand, and then, and have your brand with you.
Yeah.
Because, that's what people trust. It's not your juice. It's why you made the juice and who you are.
Totally.
So that's really what I'm pushing a lot of the founders that I know to start doing. But yeah, 100%, you need to have, dozens and dozens of different kind of ad styles in your ad account. We're focusing on just street interviews. That's our bread and butter. That's what we're focusing on. But you can't. It's not 2016 where you can just put together a direct response ad anymore.
Totally.
You need to be able to stand out.
Yeah, totally. All right, so let's go back to early days, 203Media. What was the very first like paid street interview that you remember? Tell me about it.
It was his big Twitter guy, not Zane again. Zane on Twitter. Do you know Zane?
Yeah, he's having a fun little. You've seen his most recent.
Oh yeah,
They're kind of electric.
They're awesome.
I'm like aspiring to get roasted by Zane at some point. That's my new goal for 2025.
I can text him after and he'll do it. But he was actually the first person. He used to have an e-commerce brand before his agency.
Which one?
It's called the H3.
Okay.
So it's hidden. It's like there's a hidden camera in the room.
Okay. Whoa.
And it was just like
really good for Airbnbs.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he found me on Twitter. Oliver and Matt Epstein. I don't know if you know the two. You know Matt Epstein. They put up tweets for me on Twitter. Be like, hey, my buddy Josh is doing street interviews. And Zane was one of the first person to reach out. Ran around and asked people like, do you ever feel like people are watching you? And like, well, if you ever checked into an Airbnb, you can check out the H3.
All right.
And like showed him around. And he sent me a ton of referrals. He tweeted about me. He was like, this is awesome. I think I was doing like 2,000 for 20 unique street interviews a month.
Okay.
So it was like nothing.
Yeah.
Fully edited. And, a lot of brands that work with agencies, right? You get put in like a Slack channel, you get put with someone that doesn't know your brand. For me, like a brand working with me, I'd FaceTime them in the park while I'm doing the street interview.
Yeah.
Like, I got the best reaction.
Yeah.
And they're like, this kid's awesome. Like,
I mean, your energy, dude, is like infectious. I think you know that.
Thank you. And so, through Zane, he's obviously tapped into like the D2C world, met other people, and it just spread through referrals.
Nice. Okay. And then now today, how many people are on the team?
We have 26 now.
26. All right. So talk to me a little bit how it went from Zane giving you the first dollars to now 26, which objectively, I mean, that's like a shit ton of people.
This is how I built like the conveyor belt to build the rocket ship. I'd wake up in the morning, I had one videographer, he had a backpack with like 8 brands in it. He gave me one brand, I'd run around New York, get like 20 reactions to it, give me the next brand. Get 20 reactions, give me the next brand. It would take like 8 to 9 hours. I'd then go to an Apple store and upload all the footage at an Apple store because it had fast Wi-Fi. So I'd go, there's an Apple store, by Central Park, it's 24/7. So I'd go there at 9 p.m., upload all the footage there for the day, make the Google Drive link public, email it to my one editor in Croatia. He was at 8 hours ahead, so it was his day.
Okay.
He would edit it all night. I would then go back to my apartment and just go on Twitter and just DM people until my thumbs collapsed. Yeah. And then wake up in the morning and get like 2 or 3 responses. And then I would just be, if they had a Twitter brand, I would just do it for free.
Sure.
And then if they didn't have a Twitter brand, I would just like be like, hey, $50, $40, because I was just, there was no cost. It was just me.
Right.
It was like 98% profit margin.
Right.
Like, so
sweat equity.
Exactly. So I just wanted the volume of people so that because every person that paid me, brand owners are friends with brand owners.
Of course.
Right. So I just wanted to get into the network. That was my whole strategy. And then every day I'd street interview, Apple Store, upload, and then I would make revisions from the content the night before. And then Kamiko would send it to the brands. This is before you even had a Slack channel.
Right.
We just text it to the brands over text. And then my friend Matt was like, bro, you need to get a website. You need to get a Slack channel. You gotta make this
make it real.
Make it real. So got Slack. I was like, what the hell is this? And put together a website. And month 2 did like 58,000. And then August I did like something. Yeah, I think it was also like low 50s, mid 50s that month. And then I went back to college, and I put my classes on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday nights I'd fly back to New York, and I'd stream interview Wednesday to Sunday. Sunday night, fly back to college.
Crazy.
And Tuesday to Sunday, I was sleeping on Matt's couch.
Okay.
So I had nowhere to stay in New York. So I'd sleep on his couch, wake up in the morning, stream interview all day, come back to the Apple Store, sleep on the couch, fly back to college, class Monday, Tuesday, and then from Zane, I got a referral to the Gronkowski brothers.
Okay.
For their ice shaker.
Yes, I met one of them.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, the man. And then got a call with him. This is like a month and a half into my senior year. And signed him. And I was like, fuck am I doing? I left marketing class. Paid the call outside the bathroom. And at this point, I was making more than like I ever would in a job. Yeah. And I was like, there's no cost here. It's just me running around New York. I have to afford to live in New York now. And so I just said, like, screw it. Put my stuff in my car, drove to New York, slept on Matt's couch for a month and a half and just couch surfed. I had a suitcase of just brands, and I would just lug the brands around with me, and I just did it every single day.
And so how did it get from just you doing this to now 26 people?
So that's
a completely different ball game now.
Totally different ball game. Completely different. So it got cold in New York. So I was like,
interesting.
I'm a beast. I can do this till I collapse. Like, nothing's gonna stop me. No one's getting in my way. Like, nobody's better than me. Let's go. and then everyone's like, oh, like my parents were furious. I had less than a year left of college, and I just said, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go walk around Union Square with a microphone. And I had like a corn hat on my head doing videos for like Love Corns and a full corn costume. My parents' friends were like seeing me in New York, like walking around, like looking like I was like, you know, the outside like the car wash, you know, like
you get the last laugh here.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone was like just like making fun of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is a big media company. You have no followers on social media. Like, no, I'm gonna need the reverse. Like, brands are paying me a lot of money to make them content. I don't need a following.
Right.
And nobody like understood it. And it got really cold in New York, and all of a sudden, like, nobody's in the park.
Right.
It was dark at 3 p.m.
Right.
And it was like 4 degrees outside, and I was like, fuck. Like, what do I do?
Mistake.
And I had nowhere to live too.
Yeah.
I was just couch surfing, so I was like, this sucks. And so I went down to the subways. So I was like running around the subway cars. And,
love that pivot.
yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use subway interviews for brands. And then it was just really hard to get the volume. So then I went on casting networks, and then now I'm like super delayed, right? I like signed brands, like weeks delayed on the videos. I'm like, they're like at my heels asking for the videos, like really stressed out. So I went on casting sites. I had people come pretend to be strangers in the subway, and I would just like interview them about the brand, and then the next actor would come interview them about it. I kind of staged it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a second, like, could you guys also do street interviews with your friends? And then I met like first she was great. I met first actress that was free like during the week, and I started paying her pretty well to just start doing street interviews. So then I had her, and then I had her friends doing it, and then I would give everyone like $500. They got me another person, and then it kind of snowballed from there.
Cool. What was the first hire apart from obviously the editor?
First hire was another street interviewer.
Street interview?
Yeah.
Okay. How many you got now?
I have 13.
13. Damn. And what's the schedule look like for one of these guys or one of these gals?
Now, so we have a storage locker where we store all the brands.
Okay.
We have a production manager who like goes to the storage locker, gets the brands that we're shooting the day, sets up the shoot.
Okay.
And then we have anywhere from like 3 to 5 hosts come a day and get paired up with their videographer, and they go shoot for 3 hours to come back.
Got it.
And then we just have that cycle like pretty much every day.
Awesome. Man, it's so cool to see it. That's all scaled too in like such a short amount of time.
It's been a year and 2 months.
Have you mentally, you get up?
Yeah, numb. Totally numb. It's been a fucking roller coaster. It's a great question. A lot of my family now is like pretty happy and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I'm totally numb and just like, I'm disbelief. Like literally a year ago, I was like making my first street interviews. Like I like never had a biz or anything.
Yeah. I had that a little bit too, where like, I had like, a nice, stable, healthy job, and people are like, ads on trucks? Are we sure? Like, you're gonna just leave it all behind for this crazy idea? My story took a lot longer, but 4 or 5 years later, now they're all like, we always believe.
Yeah, exactly. You always had the energy.
It's like perfect for this the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm not sure that was the conversation back then.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I was like, where are all you guys when I was by myself in Washington Square Park in December at 30 degrees?
And you did it all bootstrapped.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, hats off to you.
Thank you.
That's not easy to do. Was there a point at any point in time where you thought capital would be necessary, or always did it?
No, did
it create more damage than good?
Because it really was hard to show that this was going to be a business.
Sure.
And nobody was on retainer. That was the other thing for the first year.
Right. So it's not in SaaS. It's like my business, campaign-based revenue.
Exactly. It's campaign. So like, it was really hard to hire because every month I started at 0 revenue.
Right.
So like, 1 month I would...
Trust me, bro. I feel the treadmill.
It's just like a constant treadmill. And you're like, it's like you want to do really good work, but like it was really hard to get people on retainer because they just wanted to buy videos. They didn't want to...
Right.
So it's very campaign-based. So it was really hard to hire. It was really hard to show that it's not MRR.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have a lot of people on retainer, but before that it was really hard.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's sticking it like my business as well. I talk about it, a lot of the success as like almost like personal finance, where like compound interest makes it stronger and stronger over
Yes.
time, or like some cohort comes back every single year or on a recurring basis, and then it does kind of start to look like a SaaS business.
Yeah.
But okay, let's wrap up on the professional stuff. So what were some of like the inflection points that you recall? Was it like a specific brand? Are there any like standout campaigns? Was there one of these things got in the ad account, they just scaled it to the moon? Are there anything you reflect back on as like this was a pivotal moment where things changed for the positive?
A lot. Shout out Aaron from Breeze.
Aaron, shout out. He's gonna do trucks one of these days. We're working on it.
He's the GOAT. He posting tagged on Twitter, and it got me like a bunch of brands like very quickly. And then that was big. Zane gave me a lot of referrals. And then there was just, it got to the point where I started getting like recognized in Washington Square Park. Like people were like, oh, I've seen you on Facebook. And like I have no followers. Like my Instagram is like private, I'm pretty sure. And like people were always really confused. Like, how are you making money if you have no social media?
Right.
And the reason I never was like building my personal brand is I didn't want anyone to copy my idea.
Sure.
Or like this concept, because no one was doing it. And if I start shouting it to the world, there's gonna be a dozen people in Washington who are doing this for brands.
Sure.
So it was like, I could leverage this to build my personal brand, but I have a really good thing going. Like, why tell people about it?
Sure.
So now I'm starting to build like my personal brand.
Yeah.
Around it, because now I have a whole team of ops. Like we have.
That's why you're on the podcast.
Exactly.
We're here to brand Josh.
Exactly. Now I'm trying to do it, but for a long time. Sorry, I'm not gonna answer the question about pivotal moments. Pivotal moments would be dropping out of college, signing Chris Gronkowski. And then when I dropped out of college, it was like September, so it was like a big push for Q4. So I started getting hit up like every day.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what Q4 was. I didn't know why brands spend in Q4. And I saw like, oh, I'm like hitting it at the right time. And yeah, I would say the Chris Gronkowski moment, that's what like really pushed me over the edge.
And if nothing else, just confidence. Like, oh, someone's co-signing this shit. You know?
Yeah. And then when I got my apartment, someone like leased to me. I mean, I dragged my bed into the room and I just got there and just cried.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was couch surfing for like 2.5 months around New York, and I finally had like an apartment.
Damn, what a story. All right, last one here. Now, what's been the hardest part of it all?
It's been hell.
Tears just start streaming down your face.
I mean, I would just wake up in the morning, just pat my head against it's been so hard. Dealing with people.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a really people heavy business.
Right.
Like my product is
You're selling yourself
people.
as much as the product.
Yeah. And training people, managing people, selling the people to brands, dealing with the brands. It's all just people. Like the product is stopping people on the street,
right?
Getting people to give good reactions, and these are all real reactions.
Totally.
Hiring people to stop people, trying to find the most outgoing people possible.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, there's so many, and then we have a whole set up, and then it rains for 4 days, and now we're delayed for 2 weeks, and it's like the most operations heavy, logistics heavy, and I'm super ADD.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Do you think you're gonna move past New York? You talk about the weather, you talk about the volatility. I mean, there's other places.
We've tried Vegas, we've tried LA, we've tried Miami.
Okay.
The volume of people here is way better than anywhere else.
Out of home guy. I get it.
Yeah.
Totally. All right. I wanted to wrap up before we get to the next stop with how we know each other. So Josh and I go way back. Here is how Josh and I know each other. Sunday, May 11th from Josh. Yo, you in NYC. Monday, May 12th from Tom. Yes. Josh, let's connect sometime. Okay. And then I see a post from Josh on Twitter, and it's you can't fake this passion. You can't script this level of enthusiasm. We fucking want it locked in. And so I retweeted that, and I want this, but I want to tell it to the audience. I retweeted that post. I said, I do not know Josh, have literally never talked to him, but he seems like a psychopath. But honestly, to my experience, all of the best partners I've worked with over the years have exactly that in common. This is the exact type of person I take a chance on all day, every day. Josh, hit my line. Let's do something. I don't know what the hell we're going to do because I run a truck ad business, but who cares? We'll figure it out. And the rest is history now.
We're here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. One thing I want to do. How many cold brews have you drank today?
1 cold brew, 2 ketones.
2 ketones. Shout out Bram. We
Yeah.
love that guy. And then pull out your phone. How many steps have you logged in the past week, month, day? You tell me.
You want to see year to date?
Yeah, let's see year to date, and let's put it to the cameras just so that we have proof.
It's down. Let's see. Year to date, I'm averaging 22,000 steps a day. Year to date. That's every day for the last year.
Bro. I didn't keep the stamina up. Jesus Christ.
Just gotta be locked in. I mean, this is every day for last year, but last summer when I was really trying to like grind, I was averaging 32, 33 a day.
Crazy.
Just hitting it.
All right. We are now at our next stop. This is stop 3. We're going to be moving over to a tongue-in-cheek game that we call the Hot Box.
Let's go.
And Josh, are you ready? It's going to be a this or that question style game. You just, without thinking, you got to pick one or the other. You ready to rock?
Ready to rock?
All right, let's do it. Give up email or give up Slack?
Slack.
Cold plunge or hot tub?
Cold plunge.
It's a hot day. Sweet snacks or salty snacks?
Sweet.
Sampling in-store or influencer unboxings?
One more time.
Sampling in-store or influencer unboxings?
Sampling in store.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Or ketone IQ?
Ketone.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
It's gotta be for you. Okay, what trend do you think will be bigger, protein or fiber?
Protein. I mean, come on. Everyone. Yeah.
Shout out
David.
Shout out David. Do you have him yet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Telepathy or teleportation?
Teleportation.
Neat or messy?
Messy.
DTC or D2C?
DTC.
There we go.
Yep.
$50 on Reddit.
Zach Stock's car.
What's that?
Shout, Zach Stock?
Yeah.
His car. License plate.
There we go. In-house ops or outsourced agency?
In-house ops.
Board games or video games?
Board games.
Spotify podcasts or Substack deep dives?
Podcasts.
Beach house or ski house?
Beach house.
Work remote or return to office?
I want my own office, so I want everyone there.
All right, there we go. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok?
Twitter.
Pineapple pizza or candy corn?
Candy corn.
Live music or DJ?
Can we be
live? It's one or the other.
DJ?
All right. Advertisement or advertisement?
Advertisement.
Call, text, or audio notes? I feel like I can guess.
Call.
Yours. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say audio notes.
No, call.
Give up bread for life or cheese for life?
Bread or cheese?
Yeah.
Cheese.
Air guitar or air drums?
Air drums.
Start early or leave late?
Leave late.
Trucks or billboards? Say it.
Trucks.
All right. Receive good news or bad news first?
Bad news first.
All right. Well, the bad news is we have arrived at our final stop of the show. So, Josh, thanks so much for Thanks so much for joining us for season 3.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, final stop. Where can people find you? Where can they find your brand? Where can they reach out to learn more?
Sure. So it's the203media.com, and you can follow me on every platform. Just Josh Suggs.
Cool. And then let's wrap up with some Josh Suggs energy. Why is 203 Media going to be the biggest media agency in the world in 5 years?
5 years from now, we'll be a $1 billion media company in New York City. We'll be doing street reviews, live social shopping, media buying, and it'll be the forefront of blending content and entertaining content to build consumer brands.
That's it. Josh, thanks so much for
Thanks for having me.